Hello everyone, we're here with Playtest IRL, who won the Quarter Century Bonanza Tengu tournament with X-Sabers.
Yeah, so X-Sabers is one of those decks that fallen off the tier list. It's been like tier 2. It hasn't been winning a lot of events or even topping. So I decided to take it upon myself, as usual, to try to innovate the deck as much as possible, and I actually did, and then I actually won first. So yeah, we're going to go into deck profile. Before we get into deck profile, I want to give a shout out to the guy behind the camera. You guys don't know him, but he's my teammate on Arcana Force. So yeah, shout out to Boaz. But anyways, so this is going to be an X-Saber deck file, and here it is. So a lot of the lists on the internet now, especially on TBT and Toronto Time Capsule, I think that's what it's called, they play 3 X-Saber Fultrals. I don't agree that you should play 3 of them, and the reason why is because that deck, in those decks, you have a way to search for Fultral with using X-Saber Dark Soul. So I don't agree that you need more than 2. Sometimes I even thought about cutting down to 1. But since I don't play Rajagura in this deck, that's another card I don't play. I don't play Rajagura in this deck, so I'm fine with playing 2. These cards are bricks unless you have the right conditions, and you only want to have this card in your hand by searching for it rather than actually having it hard open. So yeah, that's why I play only 2 copies, because 3 Dark Soul. Another card I play is Giant Rat. So Giant Rat is a card that is basically another Emerald's Blade in this deck, and the reason why I play Giant Rat over the hamsters that are normally played on the Tengu Planet Discord is because Giant Rat is really Super Nimble Mega Hamster is really bad against agents. You never want to have a hamster against agents in like most board states, because what's going to happen is either they drop a Hyperion and they pop it face down and it doesn't do anything, or they bring out Christia and they attack over the hamster and it doesn't do anything. So I wanted something proactive, and this is a card that's really proactive where I could just attack, crash it, and then get into something. If I'm dealing with the Hyperion board, I can just summon the Giant Rat, crash into the Venus, and then go into any X-Saber monster I want. Namely, I want to go into Emerald's Blade first, and then crash the Emerald's Blade into the Venus again, and then get the Fulham Knight. And then from there, use Book of Moon to set the Venus or enemy controller to the defense position, run over the Venus, and then special summon the Emerald's Blade back to the field. So I wanted a board. I wanted to make this deck really good against agents going second, in case they open up with Venus, which is really common. I also play the 3 Emerald's Blades, so a total of 5 recruiters. I think you need these 5 recruiters in your deck. I don't think Giant Rash or Super Nimble Mega Hamster should be played. Yeah, so Emerald's Blade, you definitely need it in this format, as well as Edison format at 3, because you can stall longer. So in Edison format, they don't have Pashul, and I think Pashul is a really good card because it allows you to Synchro Summon with Dark Soul and then make it Catastor. And Catastor is really good against agents, because if they have like light monsters, the Catastor can solo that matchup really well. And also, Pashul allows you to stall as well. And I'll show you the reason why you want to stall with Pashul is because I play a spell card in my deck called Saber Slash. So this is a card that I want to have against most matchups, including agents. I find that a lot of the lists online don't play this card, or even in Edison format, they don't play this card, because in Edison format, there's not really much cards that you want to Saber Slash that are big, because you have Goyo Guardian access. And so because you have Goyo Guardian access in this format, Goyo Guardian can just run over big monsters. Whereas in this format, you can't synchro into something like a level 6 monster that can deal with big monsters, unless you're making a Bryanak, but then you have the pitch card at hand and you don't want to do that. So I'd rather have like a spell card that can just deal with it, and this card is really good at that slot. And that's the same reason why I play the Dark Hole as well. So because there's very much trap heavy builds out there of the X-Sabers, I think that's incorrect, especially if you want to win against the agent matchup. I did play against agents in the tournament, and I actually won 2-1. So it's still losable to lose against agents, but these cards really help beat that matchup really well. Another card that really helps you beat that matchup is Mind Control. So if your opponent doesn't know that you're on X-Sabers, what you can do is you could just summon either a Giant Rat or an Emerald's Blade. So let's say you have either or of these 2 cards in Mind Control. You can actually make a Trishula play with just these 2 cards if they leave a Shine Ball out there.
Hard way.
Yeah, so if they leave a Shine Ball out there, what you can do is, let's just say you have Emerald's Blade. You summon the Emerald's Blade, you attack into the Venus, And then you see the effect of Emerald's Blade to get the full helm knight, which I do play. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So what you do is you go into the full helm, right? You attack into the Shine Ball. This will trigger the effect to special summon an X-Saber. So you special summon an Emerald's Blade. And then from there, you're going to crash the Emerald's Blade into the Venus one more time. And then you're going to go into the Dark Soul. Okay, and then from there, you're going to use the Mind Control. You're going to take the Venus, right? You take the Venus, and then you synchro into a Trish. And from there, Trish is going to banish the Venus. And then you're going to banish the Gachi Gachi. And now they don't have Hyperion access anymore off of just your 2 cards. And then you also get to trigger a Dark Soul Search. So I think that's really, really important there. So yeah, spell cards are really good against agents, and that's why I decided to play it. The cards you want to have to make sure that your attacks go through with Full Helm Knight are these cards. You want to shift in a defense position so that you can run it over with Full Helm Knight, and then beat it over, and then special summon another monster in defense position, and then like if you bring out a Dark Soul, you can synchro summon and then do some stuff, and it's really crazy. And the last spell cards I play is Reinforcement of the Army, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn. Monster card is broken in this deck because you could revive a X-Saber monster, and then normal summon another one, and then special summon the Full Troll if you have it. So I think that's just really a proactive card that you want. That's all. Actually, I also have 2 more monsters. I have one X-Saber Borger Knight because you can search it off of X-Sabers, Dark Soul, so it's really good. So you can just do a lot of like frontal push with the Borger Knight. Its 1900 stat comes up against heroes. You can actually run over the not the Alias but the Stratos, and then this actually crashes into the Alias as well. And then the last card is going to be Effect Veiler. So Effect Veiler is also another good card that you can have. A lot of people will try to trish you because you're playing recruiter cards. So because you're playing recruiter cards, your Veiler can just stop the Trishula from resolving. And then the rest is going to be traps. I play a lot of traps in this deck, which is why I also play the Starlight Road. You need Starlight Road for 2 reasons: to stop the Heavy Storm from resolving, but also because Starlight Road also stops Dark Hole and Torrential and all the cards that like punish you for overextending, and that's why you need it in this deck. I also play the Solemn because I also play a lot of back row, and Solemn is just basically a guarantee button, win button, so that you could push your plays in, which is what you want anyways. Another card that people don't play is Bottomless Trap Hole. I think you should really play Bottomless Trap Hole in this deck in particular because your monsters aren't very big, and the only way you climb over monsters is if you make Gotems, and sometimes that isn't in the cards, right? Sometimes you don't have the access to the Gotems to run over big monsters, so you kind of need like trap cards to like banish like Hyperion and Christia, but even like Catastor as well. I would often hold this card just for Catastor because Catastor just solos this deck, so that's why I play that. Another card I play is the Reinforced Truth. I think this is now a staple in Tengu format X-Sabers because this allows you to put another body on board so that your full troll is live the next turn. So you basically flip this on your opponent's end phase, or even on the battle phase if you want to chump block and attack, and then normal summon another X-Saber and then special summon the Full Troll. Because I'm only playing the 2 Full Trolls and these cards aren't searchable, I opted to go for 3 copies of the Goddess Emergency Call. In the event that you can't make your Full Troll plays, you have your Gotems plays so you can do some pretty crazy play. This allows you to go into the big Gotems so that you can run over big monsters and start tributing monsters out of your field to start destroying your opponent's hand. And that's why you should play 3 copies of it. If you have 2 copies of this face down, you can pretty much like destroy your opponent's whole hand with this card. And then the other traps I play is Saber Hole. I know a lot of people don't like Saber Hole, even in Edison format. It's a thing where people just don't like this card. I don't know why. If you want to be competitive in X-Sabers, you have to play a card that like feels unfair, and this card feels unfair to resolve against your opponent because they're gonna commit so many resources to try to like build a big board, and you need something to stop that isn't paying you like more than half your life points. And so because of that, I decided to play the Saber Hole. Only one, because there's a space issue. Play is Solemn Warning. It's a card that you can just negate the summon, and I feel like it's a staple in Tengu platform format. And then we have the Torrential because we are playing Dark Soul, and so if you have a Dark Soul set with a Torrential, you want to resolve the Torrential against like people who summon Thunder King Ryo, and this way you get your search at the end phase, which is really nice, and that's why I play it. This is also really good because if your opponent over commits against you, you can just Torrential and then destroy the whole board, which is really nice. And then Dust Shoot. There's two reasons why I play Dust Shoot. One, it's broken in general because of the retro format with Trap Dust Shoot. But two, you can actually use this against agents to hit their Herald of Orange Light. So if they have Herald of Orange Light, you can just snap it out of their hand. So you can just do your play because you can't interact with Herald of Orange Light in this deck, and which is why I play the Trap Dust Shoot. So 40 cards exactly. I don't like playing more than 40, and I think that should be the gold standard for Tengu plan format. Now we're going to go into the extra deck. One Utopia, because you want to steal people's Tengu and then overlay it with Boggart Knight or Giant Rat. So if you steal a Tengu, you pretty much are in a good position. I play Armory Arm because you can actually make it with actually there's no way to make this guy, huh?
Effect Veiler and a level 3.
Yeah, I guess Emerald's Blade and Effect Veiler, but that's it. I guess because I took out Rajigura, I put him in my deck, but I forgot I took him out, so Rajigura's not in my deck. Another thing I forgot to mention is that there's no X-Saber Arabellum as well. The reason why I don't play Arabellum in this deck is because it's a card that doesn't destroy anything, right? Tengu is a 1700 monster, and that monster can't be climbed over with Arabellum. And then Thunder King Ryo can't be climbed over. Tour Guide into a Leviathan Dragon. Like, I just don't want Arabellum at all in any matchup, so I decided to ultimately cut it from this deck. Yeah, the level 5s I play are the TG Hyper Librarian, Catastor, and Nat Beast. I side deck into Gozen Match, and so you're gonna need Nat Beast so that you can go into the Scrap Dragon, because Scrap Dragon is also an Earth type. So you need some sort of leeway to go into from 5 to 8, and this allows you to do that. Even though Naturia is I'm only playing one Naturia Beast. Sometimes I just throw away the Naturia Beast so that I can go to Scrap Dragon. Just depends on the situation. But also, there's also Hyunlei as well at 2. I only play 2 copies of it. I don't think I need more than that. If the first one gets warning, then I can make the second one. That's essentially it. Same logic. If one of them gets warning, then I can just bring out the other one. Because they can't be brought up by emergency call if they're in the graveyard, if they're negated by Thunder King Ryo or Solemn Warning. And then the rest of the synchros, Bryanek was actually used a lot to deal with like if people set monsters and I don't want to like lose the game because it's Fossil Dyna, then Bryanek can do that. I play the Arabellum as well because he's an X-Saber name, but I hardly ever made him. I actually made Barkion like twice. Really good. I played against GBs and this like solo GBs because they couldn't activate their trap card, and I just negated it over. And then we have Stardust, which is I would say it's okay. I only made it for lethal, but it was just for lethal. And then Trish is actually really important because, like I told you before, with the full helm play, you can just make this guy with mind control against agents. Okay, that's my extra deck, 15 cards. Let's go into my side deck. I only play one Veiler in case I played against plants. I don't want to have Trishula Resolve. I played 2 Maxis. I actually decided this against the Synchron deck because they are really crazy. They like to go crazy. They basically spam out monsters, and this is really good against them. Other than that, I really didn't side it much. I didn't even side it for agents at all. I don't think it's correct to side this against agents because everything's inherent summon except for Venus effect. So yeah, just don't side against agents at all. I had Debunk. I never used it, but in theory, it's supposed to negate like Herald of Orange Light as well as Effect Veiler. So, but I never resolved it. I might just cut it in the future. Who knows? This was MVP of the tournament. Goes a match. If you're playing against a deck that likes to have different attributes, this is really good because if you're playing against plants like to have different type, right? Tengu's a wind type. The plants are all like different types as well, except for Spore. Lone Fire is a fire type. Glow Balls is earth type. Thunder King's a light type. So if you flip this against plants, you're generally winning, and you're also able to play really well because your whole deck's earth. Another card I play is My Body's Shield. I didn't side this at all, but except I wanted to against Herald of Orange Light, but I realized that this card is not that great, so I might just cut it in the future. So, but it's supposed to stop Herald of Orange Light. That's kind of the idea. It also stops like Hyperion too if they destroy your monster. A card I really liked was Chaos Trap Hole. A lot of people forgot about this card. It's a counter trap card that if your opponent normal summons a light or dark, you could negate the summon and banish it. So it's really good against Tengu meta because like literally everything's light or dark. Thunder King Ryle is one of them. Tour Guide is one of them. Hyperion's one of them. Neo's Alias is one of them as well. If you banish the Neo's Alias, you can actually shut off their Hero Blast. I think that's what happened in the tournament. So it's really good. And then obviously this is really good for Hyperion and Christie as well. So definitely slept on trap card. I definitely think more people should be siding this card in the future. And then I also light and piercing mirror, just one because I don't want to have two. If I open up two, it's bad. So it's just to stop Venus. Venus and Hyperion effect. You can also stop BLS as well with this. I forgot to mention this also stops BLS as well. But you can stop BLS from like attacking you twice and banishing a card. And then last but not least, I play the MST and the Chopstick. So yeah, this was my run for X-Sabers. Again, these cards are mainly for like GKs and like TGs, but I didn't play a single one in the tournament, so I didn't side it. But I did side this against games 2 and 3 against agents, because agents like to side Decree, and if I played against Lightsworn, I can also MST their Decree and then basically play the game. So that's why I sided this card, which is why you need it in games 2 and 3. It feels weird though to side this against agents, but they do play back row, and believe it or not, this actually comes up against that deck. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Match 1, I did play against Sankron, and then I beat that 2-1. He actually got a game off me. And then round 2, I played against GBs. He actually got a game off me, but I won the other 2 because it goes in match. And then round 3, I played against Agents, and I won that match 2-1. I actually lost the match. Agents is historically the worst matchup for X-Sabers. But I was able to win because, you know, I was playing spell cards. And then last, I played against Hero, the guy behind the camera. It was a 2-0 victory, but the counter traps did a lot of work. I didn't draw this card, but I did draw Saberhole and Warning, and he just couldn't keep a monster on board, and I just basically stole the game. I also made a Trishula too to banish his Shining, and this deck can actually make Trishula, which is really nice, and I was able to win. I mind controlled the Sangan that was set. I thought it was a Fossil Dyna, and I flipped it, and then I synchroned it to Trish with my my Full Helm Knight and my Arabellum, or not my Arabellum, Emrys Blade, and then I Trished his whole board, and I literally won. But yeah, this deck's crazy. I definitely think this deck deserves a little bit higher spot in the tier list. I think X-Saber was good in Edison, is still good in Tengu Plan format, and hopefully this deck profile will change your guys' mind to play more spell cards in your X-Saber list, and also play less full trolls because you don't really need that much. But yeah, that's pretty much it for deck profile, and I'll see you guys on next deck profile.